Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
We're missing Giga tonight.
But we have a guest as a replacement.
He's even black.
Oh,
Exactly. So it's a perfect one for one, right?
There's apparently a limit of exactly one black guy on this podcast at any given time.
Well, I'm glad that I can fill in as the token for this week. So,
Oof. Oof.
oh, man.
So we're editing this out, correct?
I'm not.
I'm
I mean,
I,
But that's
I don't
because
see
I-
anything wrong with what's
I'm making
been
a
said.
joke considering we're already been in trouble with YouTube today.
Oh,
Yeah.
you say we, but it's literally just been me because
I don't understand.
for some reason my episode 7, I guess it got flagged by some rando that somehow stumbled across my channel, and YouTube removed it for quote unquote medical misinformation. And I watched Phoenix's end, and we didn't say anything in that episode that wasn't either true according to current mainstream or a deadpan joke. And I think that what it might have been was the deadpan joking, because I can understand from an outsider's perspective, it could be very hard to tell that we are joking about these conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Thanks, Susan Wojak.
Yeah, so
Jitsky, but I don't know how to spell that.
So, the reason Dark said that is because I mentioned earlier I can never remember that woman's goddamn last name, so my brain just refers to her as Susan Wojak.
Welcome to Polish, everyone.
So, yeah, that was the Time Isn't Real episode, which is a shame because that was one of my favorite ones, but I literally just, added Phoenix's upload of that to my, or not uploaded, but added it to my playlist to just stand in for it, because it doesn't matter. It's the same audio except for background game stuff.
I hope they get back to you on why they actually did it. Like
Oh,
what
They won't.
exactly?
It's YouTube.
I already appealed it. They already gave me an automated message that said that they carefully reviewed it, and the fact that they said that, and also that they ignored my very reasonable, hey, could you at least tell me what the exact quote was? Could you give me a download for the video so I can maybe edit it out? They didn't even address that, which tells me that they didn't actually review it. They just wanted to get rid of me because I have 128 subs.
So
Damn, they
hopefully,
blacklisted everybody out here.
I was gonna say, hopefully, it won't get you in any more trouble. But
Nah, I doubt
what was the joke?
I don't
If
know.
I can
That's
ask.
exactly why I asked. But
Yeah, they don't tell you.
yeah, we make very deadpan jokes,
Mhm.
and by the nature of deadpan, it can be hard to tell that we're joking. But that's just how our humor is, and
Yep.
I don't know exactly what it was that set them off. I think that either it was Phoenix making some random joke about whatever conspiracy, lizard people or whatever, because he did mention lizard people in that episode.
I highly
Or
doubt that.
The classic.
it was me talking about the side effects of the vaccine, which
Mm.
I never said that those were proven. I just said that there was a correlation,
Mhm.
which there is, and they have admitted it, so I don't know why that was a problem.
So whoever reported that video, you're a bitch.
Nah, they're just a sheep. You can't
Yeah.
be a wolf if you're a sheep. So that was a pun.
What scares me is the people pulling, the one hurting the sheep. Those
Yeah.
are the people you gotta watch out for.
Oh no, you can trust them. Like they know what's right for everybody, right?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
not.
yeah, and if God
It's
forbid
not
they
like
watch them.
shepherds eat mutton or anything.
That's good.
I swear, once I actually eventually upload this, next year or whatever, I'm going to just title it Susan Wojak.
Nice.
I mean, if they start doing that shit, it's like I will just switch to Rumble. I like just what's that? Like simultaneously upload to it. Because I ain't dealing with that bullshit with YouTube if they start coming after me.
The thing is,
Like, there are alternatives now.
The thing is, I don't even really care about uploading. I just upload because I like having our podcast because the podcast is fun.
Yeah.
And like I
And then
even
you have also the Minecraft series.
I don't really mind that much because it's on your channel.
It was on yours channel too.
Yeah, but like it's on your channel, which means that it's not totally lost if my channel goes down.
Right. Right.
So, because Terrific requested it, we're gonna avoid Scarlet and Violet stuff until he has to leave, if he has to leave during the middle of the podcast. But I do want to talk about Fakemon. Because, I had a, like, brainstorming rant thing last night, and I'm just gonna pull it up on my screen. And I made a steampunk dragon.
Okay.
I don't think Terrific has seen it because it's not in the dev server. Yeah, it's in voice context.
Ooh.
It's awesome.
And it is the legendary counterpart to get him or her rather. To this.
Okay.
I think this is the first time you're ever talking about them on a podcast too.
Probably. So the peacock wolf thing is called Cimarrock. It's based on a Simurgh, which is a Persian mythological bird creature that's sometimes depicted like a wolf griffin thing. And the dragon, I know how to pronounce it. I'm not sure I can get it right first try. According to like an Irish TTS, it's Miotale, something like that, which is basically just Irish for metal, but also there's a couple other root words in there. Because I discovered that an accented E, or an acute accented E rather, at the end of a, or not necessarily at the end of the word, but it's a masculine notifier, I guess. And
TLDR Irish is weird.
Well, no, I'm just trying to remember what the actual, like, it's grammatical gender, but that it marks this otherwise genderless robot as male, which is fitting because Cimarrock is female only.
I mean, that's pretty cool then.
And I don't want to go into my huge, gigantic rant about the themes of this story that they're sort of part of, so I'm just going to screenshot it and post it in voice context so someone can give my voice a rest.
Okay.
That was an amazing conversation last night.
Alrighty, so okay, help me pronounce it.
Miotale.
Okay. Motale is not good or evil. It just is, and it waits for a wielder to choose for it. Oh my gosh, I can't speak. I'm sorry. Neutral technology in the hands of evil people will do evil things, but that isn't the fault of the technology. It's the difference between the mass shooter and the good guy with the gun. Yo, literally, I read the first half of that sentence and immediately like equated it to like guns. The theme of Severite is reconciling nature with humanity's technological progress. It's a nature versus technology story, but not in the way most people would think. It isn't nature good, technology bad, humanity bad, control yourselves. It's nature good, technology good, you just need to balance it. Cimarrock is a normally benevolent god who, when enraged enough or protective enough, transforms into a destructive force of nature that cannot be controlled. Nature is a wild, untamed thing that humanity must respect, or they eventually destroy it. Motele is neither benevolent nor malignant. It is a neutral force simply doing what it was built to do. It is a gun. It has no inherent morality of its own. It is a powerful, controllable thing that humanity must use with care, or they will destroy themselves with it. Cimarrock is the embodiment of a Pokemon, a natural thing of wild magic that can be corralled but not truly tamed. Motele is a machine with Pokemon powers. Is it a Pokemon? What makes a Pokemon? Is it just an advanced AI, a sophisticated automaton, or does it have a mind? If it has a mind, what else does it have? Motele in the climax is either deactivated or damaged so badly it ceases function. This exchange ensues. Professor, poor thing, it's not bad, just misused by a bad person. Rival, how can you say that? It's destroyed so much, hurt so many people, hurt Cimarrock. Professor, yes, but it wasn't its fault. Those are the actions of an evil man, not an evil Pokemon. Rival, it's not even a Pokemon, it's a machine. Professor, but who are we to be sure of that? Man, that is phenomenal.
Mhm.
This
Man,
all
that
just kind of
backstory.
this kind of just all spilled out while we were on voice last night,
Yeah.
because it was a real stream of consciousness with me just explaining the themes of this art project that may or may not be eventually become a game. I'm not sure yet. I know that after Sardonyx, Giga and I kind of want to set our sights on a different project that we've been working on that's not Pokemon related, but I do want to get Savarite to to like a state where it can be played because I have ideas for it. And
So
it took so many sketches to nail down Miotole's actual design. Let me go find the. There it is. Like, there's 4 layers of just sketch pages here, which I am going to screenshot for your guys' benefit, but also, like, I'm showing this on screen, so, like, yeah. This was the initial sketch page where I was trying to just, like, nail down its anatomy and design.
Looking at the two legendaries together now, they do look so good together.
This was just a bit of scribbles to see if I could get my thoughts down. I really like this one because of the little headshot in the corner.
Hmm.
And you can see that at
nice.
this point I was starting to figure out how I wanted to do the wings. And the last one was a rough pose that I wanted for the official art. And I really like how this came out. I haven't shaded it yet. I'll get to that at some point. But like the colors work, the design works. It's in a nice pose. I really like how the steam came out.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, no, the Steam looks fantastic.
Great design for a Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It all
And
looks really
Honestly,
good.
like they both have kind of weird eyes. Like I'm just gonna zoom in on Cimarrock's face in here and screenshot that, because Cimarrock has like crystal faceted eyes, and Miotole is just kind of staring off because it's not really seeing anything because it's not alive. It's a machine.
Hmm.
And I think that that kind of thing is what makes a legendary instead of just a really cool looking Pokemon, is
mm,
just the details in like their expressions or their faces that make them seem other.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And they do actually look like they go together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they do.
I need to redraw Simrock at some point because that pose is not conducive to his sprite. But
Hmm,
yeah.
hmm.
Yeah, no, and honestly, if animated sprites weren't like so annoying to make, I would love to see Motole like completely animated in
Yeah,
sprite
like
form. Like I can just imagine it.
I can even like imagine how it would animate. When you played Uranium, if did you play Uranium, Terrific?
I did.
Yeah, so I don't know what version they animated Stenowatt in, the little electric raptor, but I kind of
Mhm.
imagine that kind of animation. I actually have it on here somewhere. If I can find it. Pokemon Uranium. There it is. Like, I can imagine this kind of animation with the steam flowing out of it.
When I played it, did they animated sprites?
They had some animated sprites, but not all of them, I think.
Okay, because I don't remember animated sprites in it.
Yeah.
Phoenix, when did you play it?
Oh God.
Because I was
Give
gonna
me a
say,
second.
yeah, because I played it like 4 or 5 years ago, I think, and I remember all the sprites being animated.
Man, mine wasn't that long ago.
Oh, okay, huh? That's weird. Maybe I just forgot.
Oh.
But yeah, I imagine this kind of animation for Miotole.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah, and then the just unblinking eyes just staring at you.
Yeah, because, like, why does it need to blink? It's...
Yeah.
I like how the wings came out, because you can tell that they fold on themselves, and the wing arm is just a steam pipe.
Mm-hmm.
Because the way that the actual, like, locomotion of the wings works is that the big gear at what would be the wrist controls how far out the blades actually spread, and I don't know, it just flies on steam power, I guess. Pokemon magic bullshit.
Random bullshit go.
I considered it giving raptor feet, but that was a little much, I think. Or it would have been a little much.
But to answer the question, the last upload for Uranium was July of 2019.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I might just have a bad memory of it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure at least the starters were animated when you played.
Yes.
I vaguely remember some of them being animated.
Yeah.
Like I think the legendary radiation one was animated.
Yep, I think that one was too. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that a lot of the Pokemon were animated, but not all of them. In fact, like, Stenowatt's animation was done before Uranium even was finished, but it wasn't added as an animated sprite for a while.
Probably what an oversight. Like someone just forgot to drop the file in there.
Maybe, or also just, like, because it wasn't split into frames, it was part of an art trade or something, and I think Involuntary Twitch only had the GIF instead of what Uranium actually uses, which is the EBS format, which is Elite Battle System, which
Yeah.
requires every frame of the sprite to be in a line.
Yeah. I've seen Elite Battle Systems animated sprites, and
I don't like it. It seems like a pain in the ass to edit.
Yep.
And when you have a game that's like this focused on regional variants, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Especially because, like, EBS basically requires Gen 5 style back sprites, which I don't really like because, again, they're a pain in the ass to edit.
Yeah, no, it's and honestly, I don't know if it just depends on how it's how they do it or what, but sometimes when I've played fan games with Elite Battle system with the animated sprites, they just look choppy sometimes, depending on what Pokemon it is,
Yeah.
which could be a consequence of, how the animation is done, like frame-wise, and how it's an individual frame. But yeah, I don't know. Some of them just don't flow naturally. And it didn't help that the Pokemon was Charmander, which I kind of have a sharp eye for. So, yeah.
Yeah.
How long do you think before fan games go full 3D?
Some of them are trying, but I think the majority of fan game devs prefer sprites because they are just easier to make.
Mm-hmm. And there's also
Yeah,
a charm call.
the thing about 3D is that it takes a lot longer to model, texture, and rig one model than it does to make probably dozens of sprites.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's not about the sprite's charm. It's about the fact that 3D is just unfeasible right now for fan game devs.
Yeah.
I mean,
Unless
what's
they have like
the like? There's been weird knockoff gacha games that
Yes,
have
but they
used
make
Pokemon.
money.
Yeah, I know. I was just
The one
saying
thing I
though,
might
like,
say is that like DS style graphics are probably more feasible than full 3D since it's still largely sprites.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. Anyway, what were you saying, Nate? Dark interrupted you.
Oh, I was just saying that, a lot of those weird knockoff gacha games do have 3D models, but there's weird legality when it comes to those.
Yeah,
I think
because
most of those are actually ripped from the game.
most of the time that kind of stuff is actually technically legal because they're not using code from the actual Pokemon games, and in many cases they aren't using direct rips. They're using approximations that look very much like the real thing for the purpose of luring in like kids and stuff, but
Mhm.
it's not
Mhm.
the exact assets, and sometimes the designs are slightly changed, and that's a loophole that is just like, I don't think copyright law has really caught up with that kind of thing yet.
Has not. I mean, copyright law barely works as it is.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a Chinese game company where their copyright laws out there are very, very, very different from ours.
Yep.
Yep. And nothing can be done about it because different country.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So, oh man, like I can.
Specifically, like nothing can be done about it because different country that actually has resources to not care.
Yep.
Exactly.
Different country hasn't stopped the US government before.
It's true.
Yeah.
I mean, if you take a tiny peek at Chinese military, all it is just cheap knockoffs of the stuff we have.
Yeah.
I just wonder if the armor on their planes and warships is made out of the same stuff they make their tools out of in their buildings. That
Probably
same
not,
steel.
because they're not like the mass reducing things takes cheaper material.
Mhm.
Well, they are mass producing their warships.
Not to the same degree that they mass produce Tupperware.
True. Well, if we ever have to go to war with them, you just have to cross your fingers and hope some of the stuff is made out of Chinesium. Because then you just have to sneeze on the airplane and it'll just crumple.
Oh man.
Careful, Susan Wojak is listening.
Oh no, this is true though. If you don't ever buy tools from Wish, because those tools will break after one use. You're better off going to Harbor Freight when you know they're going to break in one use.
I know.
Funny you mentioned Wish because like today I rewatched Linus's Wish water cooling project, And oh man, the quality of the shit they got was actually trashed here.
Like, I'll never buy off Wish. It's bad.
I'm just making another joke about Susan Wojak because
Oh yeah, Wojcicki. I dislike her greatly.
What do you mean? She's done great things for YouTube. Like every time they release an update, it just makes it so much easier for smaller channels to get out there and, just, thrive on YouTube. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, thank you, Mommy Susan. Thank you for all the great times we have. Step on me harder, Mommy.
Think of all the extra ads they can shove down your throat. that
Oh,
don't
hold
even
on,
go to
time
the
out. I got
creators.
to bitch about these ads because they're doing something shady. You know how normally if you hit skip ad, it'll skip both the ads playing?
Yeah. Well, I
It no
actually
longer
don't know.
skips both. Yeah, I know, because I'm talking like if I'm on Xbox or on my phone. Instead of skipping both ads, it skips the one ad and just sends you to the next ad.
That's not shady. That's actually kind of reasonable.
See, I haven't actually experienced that.
I've
The
only
one
had
thing
it
I
like
hate
once or
about
twice.
YouTube mobile ads when there's two in a row is when you get one of those ads that likes to stick around after the video has stopped playing.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever had the
And
15-minute unskippable ad?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I have a story about that, actually.
Oh,
One
let's
time
hear
we
it.
got an unskip, like back when we lived in Toronto, one time we got an unskippable ad so long that my dad fell asleep.
Wow.
It was a 2.5 hour religious indoctrination video as an ad.
Wow.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Okay, I will say, Twitch is worse for ads
Oh,
because
absolutely.
one, if you're not subbed to a channel, it doesn't matter if the channel has actually set ads or not. You will get your commercial break every 30 to 60 minutes. Two, AdBlock doesn't work on it because Twitch keeps trying to stay ahead of the ad blocks. And three, sometimes those ads are like 2 15-second ads, and sometimes they're 8 30-second ads.
Yeah, I saw a screenshot on Twitter of someone that got 6 minute long ads in a row.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I frequently get 10 ads in a row of varying length between 5 to 30 seconds when watching EchoGen on Twitch, and that is why I switched to YouTube.
It's like I understand it's to make money, and I will always support content creators because obviously.
But we know that the ad revenue doesn't really go to the content creators in a way that makes it meaningful to actually watch it.
And what is it, 30-70 split?
I don't know.
We're getting the shaft on this?
I'm not sure.
I have blocked ads for years because Google seems completely disinterested in removing the browser hijacks and malware from their ad network.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You want me to look at your ads? Don't make them hijack my fucking browser. I've had that happen multiple times.
Yeah.
Like I'll never stop using ad blocker on my computer. It keeps it safe.
Oh no. I got ad blocker for literally years on my computer, and I would get it from my phone, but I haven't found. I don't know what it is, but just ad blocker for mobile. Which granted, I haven't looked in a couple years
If
now.
you
But
use
when I
Android?
first started, yeah, I got Android.
Look into AdGuard.
AdGuard, okay, because I know I would look it up, and I don't know, it always just seemed a bit shady to me. So I was like, I don't think I want to install you for my phone. So
it's probably safe.
If you use Firefox for a browser on your phone, you can get uBlock Origin as an add-on.
Yep.
For it.
Yeah, and I do know, and it is my fault because I have Samsung and they have their own browser that comes with ad block, but I'm like, I already use Chrome, so it's like I don't want to switch everything over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I switched to Fire. I mean, I've for the past 10 years, I've switched between browsers constantly. But I think it was a couple years ago, I just kind of fully switched to Firefox because there was a big thing in Google Chrome at the time. Can't remember exactly what it was, but it was like, oh shit, I'm not using Google Chrome anymore. Going to Firefox.
I literally only use Chrome for Google Drive stuff because it lets me do things offline.
I use Vivaldi on desktop, which uses Chromium under the hood, but has built-in ad block.
Mm.
I use both Foxfire and Chrome. Depends on what I'm doing.
Foxfire.
Foxfire? You guys
Yeah,
have a browser?
don't you know we have our own browser, guys?
God, I wish.
Okay.
Like,
Firefox.
unironically, I would like our own browser just so that we can actually do shit right.
Yeah. I remember for a time in the early 2010s, I used Opera.
Oh, wow.
I
My dad
miss
used
old
to use
Opera.
that.
I remember in like the mid 2010s, I used Komodo because one, it was literally called Komodo Dragon, and two, it was actually kind of cool. It had like a built-in ad block, I think, and it was my backup browser for a long time because I didn't want to use Chrome.
I don't blame people for not wanting to use like mainline Google Crime.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Haven't heard that joke in a while.
mean-
Like mainline Chrome is awful these days.
Most things by Google tend to be awful.
Yeah.
Including
And
YouTube.
this is why I only use it for Google Drive stuff.
Yeah, but you get into the habit. You've used
Man.
Google since you were like 9, and switching
Talking
over
to a
stuff
person
sucks.
here who recently got a Pixel 6.
Oh wow! So you can photograph in my actual skin tone.
I don't know how that was one of the big selling points.
Like the Pixel 6 has a lot of issues, none of which my entire immediate family, who also had, like my dad has a 6 and my mom has a 6A, we have experienced literally 0 of those issues.
Huh, wow.
Nice.
Like, that's the maddening thing about the issues with the Pixel 6 line is that they're not universal, so it's really hard to figure out what's causing them.
Right, yeah.
Remember the days of Nokias when you can just throw them at the wall, have them break through the wall, and
Yeah.
still function?
Oh yeah.
The old Nokia meme.
Yeah. In general, I miss just the classic cell phone because, of course, I do. Because
Because you are one.
yeah,
You are a phone from the land of phone.
yeah.
There was nothing better than hanging up on someone by just closing a flip phone.
Right.
It was like
Oh,
a power move.
Yeah. Like, man, I remember that. I mean, like, all you can do now is vigorously tap the screen
Mhm.
to hang up.
I'll just press the power button because that ends my call.
For me, it just turns the display off.
I love how like mobile carriers are marketing the fuck out of 5G, but like pretty much nowhere outside of big cities actually has 5G.
Yeah.
Exactly. I've never
no,
seen
no.
5G yet.
No, let me tell you something. I live in a small town now, right? And
Hmm.
literally 15 minutes away is a town about the same size, 2K people. Tell me why on the road from my town to that town I get 5G, but not in either one of the other towns.
No, see, my situation makes even less sense because it's not to do with 5G, but to do with like internet service. I live in
Mhm.
a town of 2,600 in the rural north of Nova Scotia, and I have fucking gigabit internet. Meanwhile, the province I moved from, you're lucky to find that outside of the Greater Toronto area.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah.
I live in one of the larger cities in New York State. We don't have 5G.
And that's just crazy to me because I'll go to the larger town in my area, and I'll randomly get 5G. But other than that, I literally only get 5G when I'm on the road traveling somewhere.
I live 6 minutes away from Minneapolis, and I don't get 5G.
I
But
live
is
in the middle
5G
of a forest,
actually-
so I don't get anything nice.
You guys get internet?
West Virginia.
Barely.
Barely, also. Like, on that note, heads up, my internet might cut out for like 2 minutes at any point. I don't know when.
I don't know what's going on.
No, I don't know. It's been doing this for like 36 hours. It'll just like be fine, and then all of a sudden, the internet cuts out, and it takes like 2 minutes to come back.
That shit happens to me a lot.
I
Like, I was
shouldn't. I shouldn't
running-
complain because I'm not paying for it. It's not even technically my internet.
I was like running a test stream earlier today to make sure all the new bells and whistles are working properly. And like 2 seconds in, I'm like, I lost the feed. I'm like, uh-oh, what did I do wrong? And then I look down at the corner of my screen, and it's like, oh, the internet's gone.
Huh.
I hope that doesn't happen when I actually stream.
Now that you said it, you've invoked Murphy, so it will.
Yeah.
Actually, as Murphy's Law is Murphy's Law, I never happens at night. I never lose internet at night. I think once when we were doing Minecraft, right?
Yeah.
I mean, until now. Now you will.
Yeah, probably.
Uh,
Fucking Spectre.
you know, I remember being in karate, and we had a different version of Murphy's Law. Everything that can go wrong will go wrong, but only when Sensei is watching.
Yeah, there's a truth to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
Man.
to prove that I live in a forest, that thing is where my house is. You can see where we live.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You messed up. Now I'm gonna Google what is it, like flight patterns now, and I'll go based off of this random field on Google
Yeah.
Maps and boom, check down where you live.
I don't think that he would mind that too much.
No. I mean, I
No.
did specifically, make
Yeah,
sure
you
to
just gave
take
us
out
some-
any references to, any actual things for the roads and stuff, make
Uh.
sure that none of them could be seen. But even if you did, I'd be like, okay, cool, whatever.
Yeah, and then here I am. I don't know. Do you still have my address listed somewhere when I
Probably.
sent you the Mountain Dews?
Oh,
Yeah.
probably not then because I don't have the packaging for that anymore.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say I followed the basic rule of the internet and just straight up gave someone that I've known online my address, so that was fun. Indirectly,
I mean,
of course.
I did that last year.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
my address is known by at least 2 people that regularly come to this podcast.
Mhm.
It's just that one of them is not here right now. Zio has been to my house.
I'm vaguely planning to go to her house at some point in the future.
Yeah. And it's weird that we haven't met up yet.
Yeah.
Because we've known each other, like, the longest.
Yep.
Yeah,
I've met people that I otherwise only knew online last year. It was fun. We hung out for a while.
Oh, nice. See, I always thought about it because I mean, at this point, there are people that I've known for like going on 4 or 5 years now online, and part of me is like, I don't know, do I ask? But then
oh dear, I think my internet might have done the thing. Yeah, it's done the thing. Give me a moment, guys. You'll hear me being annoyed at my internet.
Exact
Oh,
same
yeah.
thought. How do you know they're just not trying to break my balls or something?
Yeah.
So my internet did the thing for about 30 seconds, so
Oh.
I missed whatever was said.
Oh.
Oh, social anxiety sucks, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last thing I heard was Terrific talking about should I ask, and then everything cut out.
Oh. Yeah, no, just like, should I ask if I can, do things to people and whatnot, but just having the thoughts that they just hate me internally. So
I mean, you're welcome to
Very much
visit
so.
me anytime, because I'm not at all concerned about my address getting leaked, because I live in a secure building that has 24/7 staff, and if someone tries to fuck with me, the police will get called faster than I'll even know what's going on.
I mean, that's a pretty top-notch security then.
Yeah.
All right, well, here,
Like you can't
for
even
frame of reference,
you can't even get inside without someone letting you in.
Top-notch security at the cost of bottom-notch internet service.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're allowed to buy our own internet, but like maybe one or two people at any given time who lives here has the money to do that. Because this is a low-income, transitional housing solution for young adults, and they typically do not have the money to buy their own internet.
Yeah.
Even if they kind of do,
Yeah.
internet in North America is crazy expensive for
Yes,
some
it is.
reason.
And you would think that it would just become a utility at this point.
Yeah, I know, but would you really want the government regulating it then?
Wouldn't that be nice? But then the fucking billionaire companies wouldn't have anything to fight.
Yeah.
Well, they would just pick something else.
They're already fighting over our souls, so. Yeah, but the thing is, I wouldn't trust the government, either side, Democrat or Republican, on this, because they've both already stated they want to limit how much internet we can use.
Hmm.
They want to treat it like
Weird.
a natural resource.
It like that's so weird to me as someone who had to
Mhm.
live through that for like 10 years. That you guys, for some reason, lagged behind 5 years on that.
I mean,
And
serious
it's
question.
particularly weird when you consider that the internet was invented in the United States and we are so far behind the rest of the world on how to handle the internet.
Like, Nate's not kidding. You're somehow even behind us, and that
Like,
is crazy to me. Because
serious
recently,
question. How much?
Hmm?
Go on.
Like I say, you guys are behind us because recently, my very internet provider, and I'm like with a big telecom here in Canada, they recently announced 3 gigabit home internet.
Wow.
Like, how are you this far behind when you literally invented the thing?
It's just not a priority.
I will say
guess.
that in a way I do sort of get it, because we were the first to have internet because we invented it. We have all of the old infrastructure, the really, really old shit. And replacing all of that really old shit is expensive.
Yep.
And that's really all it boils down to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were you going to say, though, Phoenix?
How much internet do any of you think you use in a day?
A lot.
A lot.
Yeah, a lot.
And
It's-
imagine the government wants to limit you to, like, say, 50 gigs a month.
I mean,
Ooh, I've been there.
I honestly like that would be more than my old phone plan when I actually relied on my hotspot for internet some of the time. So like it might get sketchy towards the end of the month, but it wouldn't affect me too much unless I was uploading something big or downloading something big or like playing ESO for long periods of time.
You want to know how much I use in a week?
Sure.
Average. 335 gigs.
Wow.
I would be screwed if they ever wanted to implement that.
Wow.
But you see, they're going to have special plans you can buy for certain companies so you can use their websites without going over the limit.
This is when I would become an anarchist, ditch everything, go live in the woods.
That's not anarchism.
Sovereign
Yeah, that's
citizen.
just
Primitivism. No, it's primitivism.
I would go full sovereign citizen kind of thing,
Hmm.
like full Tea Party bullshit.
Unfortunately, being a sovereign citizen kinda sucks.
Yeah, it's also illegal.
Is it?
Yeah, you don't pay taxes. They want your ass done.
Ah.
I mean, I thought if you live like completely off the grid, that was fine.
Yeah,
But they
because
can't find you.
that, and also you're not using any of their resources, so they don't really have a
Yeah.
reason to find your ass.
Hmm.
Yeah. Like the only thing I can think of is that if you live in the woods somewhere, then technically that's the government's woods. That's your
Yeah.
leasing for free. But I don't think they care all that much as long as you're not like in city limits tapping into like
And it's
power
like,
supply.
even if it is their woods, what are they gonna do? Not make you able to live anywhere?
Yeah.
Because I don't think the homeless pay taxes either.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but look
And
how the homeless are treated by the government.
It depends on where
Literally
you live.
left to die.
It depends on where you live. Where I live, the homeless are actually treated fairly well.
Ours get buried in unmarked graves.
And I would know how the homeless are treated because I've done that whole gig twice.
For homeless in New York State, it's not a easy life.
Mm. Same thing goes for California, but like once we moved to Minnesota, it was a lot easier.
As soon as I can, I think I'm probably going to leave this state behind.
Oh, you're going to be part of the Great Migration?
I have no clue where I'll go, but not here.
Come to Minnesota. It might be choking on blue paint, but it actually has good support systems.
You know, a state that's always popped into my mind, even though I would love Minnesota because that's more my styles.
Yeah.
I think my Xbox crashed.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Can I continue with your thought?
Oh, this is weird.
Oh.
Am I still recording?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if you're recording, but you're still on the call.
Yeah, you're still here, at least.
Okay, I might have to be right back because I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
I don't know if it's my computer or the actual Xbox. I will be right back. I'm going to stop my recording and jump right in a few minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna start streaming what I'm doing just because, like, I like how this one is coming out.
Oh, sorry, frog in my throat. Kuda, you mentioned ESO.
Yes.
So I played ESO years and years and years ago, like maybe back in 2015.
What
Haven't
platform?
touched it since. It was on my laptop.
So a PC.
Yes. So the thing is that I would love to get back into it, but I don't know anybody else who plays it. Well, I mean, actually, yeah, no,
Nate and
that's
I both
actually
play
true. Okay,
Lately, I've
so
just been logging in to get daily stuff, but I mean, if more people play it, I'd be willing to play it. So
yeah, so like I'm super behind. I know I'd have to make a new character. Don't
yeah,
even know what my character was.
it's a completely new game now, basically.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Welcome
it was
back.
OBS that crashed.
Ah.
Oh, fun. Was it Streamlabs or original?
original. I don't use Streamlabs.
Streamlabs
Okay, yeah, I
sucks.
stopped using
So yes,
Streamlabs.
don't.
Yeah, it does.
PSA
Completely.
people, don't use Streamlabs OBS, aka just Streamlabs, because they are dickheads.
Hmm.
Besides, mainline OBS is actually better now anyway.
Anyway, you were saying, Char?
Oh, yes. So I don't know when I'd get back into it, but I think it'd be nice to actually play with people.
Yeah.
So I don't know when you guys play, or if it's like a random, you hop on and someone else hops on, but
Yeah.
More or less, yeah. I haven't played in a bit
Oh,
because I don't have the money for ESO Plus right now, and I kind of can't play without that.
wait, what is ESO Plus?
It's just
It's a monthly fee of $15, and it's got some nice rewards like the crafting bag that lets you store infinite crafting materials,
it's
access to all DLCs except the most recent chapter, stuff like that.
it's not
Uh,
necessary, but once you get used to it, it is very hard to play without it.
I mean, I can see that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how they get you.
Well, I mean,
uh,
ESO is buy to play, so it doesn't really come with its own subscription fee. So unlike a certain other MMO, which really should start switching to the ESO model, but yeah, it's
As much as it pains me to admit, Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah.
anyway, ESO Plus is like well worth the money because of the perks
Mhm.
and because you get the equivalent amount of crowns anyway.
Yeah.
So like there's no reason not to get ESO Plus if you want to buy crowns, but like again, it is very hard to play without it once you've gotten used to it.
Yeah.
Man, flashback to when I left myself subscribed for 11 months while on break and came back to 11,000 crowns.
That sounds nice.
There is an event for the next 11 days or so in ESO.
I don't think that's
Oh,
a good event for someone just getting back into the game though.
that's true. That is a bad event for it.
Because that's kind of like end game stuff.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny though because like Arc Knights is also going through its seasonal end game event contingency contract, which is also a bad thing for a person just getting into the game to try to participate in. But yeah, ESO is very fun and like it's even a little bit roleplay-ish just because Nate and
Yeah.
I have our own headcanons for how our main characters interact.
Yep.
Oh,
If
nice.
Nate wants to explain that.
There's so much.
Well,
Yeah.
give him a TLDR.
I
Yeah.
I don't.
Spark notes.
I think there's like 8 years of content here, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Something like
I'm
that.
trying to think of like how to even begin. Uh, like my character is an Argonian mage who's very uh how do I even describe it? I don't know. Yes. Help.
Uh, see, like, this is one of those things where I know what you mean, but I can't explain it either.
Yeah, see, this is why I had trouble even starting. Like,
Uh, so, how much do you know
you know what?
about...
He
Oh,
is very much a Telvanni
yeah, I
mage.
was about to say, how much do you know
Yeah.
about Elder Scrolls lore, and then I was about to go into the Telvannis.
I know like maybe the most basic of the lore. Like
Everything
it's
is an
something
elf.
Unless it's a
like
tree.
I would really love to like get into it, but I know that that would take me some time.
Yeah.
So I know like the basics.
So the
Uh,
Telvannis, I
they're
don't know
very
enough about
much
them.
a, you know, magical progress at any cost type of mage. if that makes sense.
They're kind of like mage scientists.
Yeah.
Morality for them is something that comes in like that doesn't factor into anything. Not that they're specifically amoral, just they don't think about it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's kind of like what my main character is on ESO, and Kuda's main character is basically a serial killer. So
Oh, fun.
yeah,
Yeah, that's accurate.
All right, so we have Argonian and Kuda. I can't
and our
remember.
I main Argonians.
Okay, that's what I thought because I think you played one in the Skyrim playthrough on your
So
channel.
funny enough, She-Ra, who is my Skyrim character, is the grandson of my ESO character.
Oh, that's some nice lore.
Yeah. Don't ask how that works because ESO takes place about 1,000 years before Skyrim.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
My running theory is that Ilislay, who is my ESO character, got mixed up in some Daedra.
I mean, that explains almost everything, right?
Does.
I mean-
that is true.
I mean, like, because of how Molag Bal acts with the player character, especially after doing the main quest line in ESO, it's kind of implied that Molag Bal wants the player to serve him, and if that's the case, all I really have to do is just say Ilislay eventually went along with it. Because
See,
if Ilislay serves any Daedra, it would either be Hircine or Molag Bal. So there's that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I know pretty much whenever I play Skyrim, I'm always an elf because the way I see it, I'm already a human. I don't want to play as a human in a game. So, and I just naturally lean towards elves because, magic is
Which
fun.
kind of elf? Because that matters a lot to me.
Yes. So, so I started off first time I played Skyrim, I was an orc, and the orc was my main. But
Cool.
then, as I started looking up some more about the different races and whatnot, I switched to maining as a dark elf just because.
Nice.
I don't know, orc culture. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's different, but at least in Skyrim, just like the role playing aspect of like, oh, okay, I'm part of a stronghold where either if I want to stay in my stronghold,
no,
I either
like,
just work
Orcs were like
meaninglessly or
turbo lame in Skyrim.
yeah. And see, that was my introduction to orcs, so I don't know how they function in other cultures because I know they don't have their own little land slash
Technically
country.
untrue.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because didn't they have to? Because they've had to leave it, right? And they've been wanderers
It's
ever
complicated.
since. Okay,
It's yeah.
Very complicated.
Elder Scrolls Orc lore is complicated because
Okay.
Orsinium is an actual thing in ESO.
Yeah.
Mhm. And Orsinium has been different cities throughout the years in the Elder Scrolls
Mhm.
lore.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it was like, yeah, I didn't really just jive well with the idea of either I just like worked at a blacksmith for my whole life or kill my dad to take over. So after looking up Dark Elves, I was like, you know what? I kind of like that. So I've been going with
Dark
Elf
Elf lore is kick ass.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it was one guy's passion project.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
that one guy was really fucking weird.
See,
Oh,
and I'm trying to log into ESO to find out. I was wondering, like, maybe if I log in on my phone, it'll show me my character so I can know what the heck I played
No.
as. But,
It won't.
Well, that's sad.
There's
I'm gonna have
probably
to
like one of those
uninstall it.
external sites, like I think there is for World of Warcraft, where you can enter the like account name and it'll show you the characters and stuff. But I don't think that's official.
So probably seems a little sketch then.
Well, no, because unless you have to actually
Because you're just
log
entering
in,
the name.
yeah.
Okay.
It's not sketchy for the user. It's a little sketchy for the company because it usually involves data scraping.
Okay.
But
All this talk about Elder Scrolls makes me want to play Skyrim again.
but yeah, like Nate saying that Elosley is basically a serial killer is not inaccurate or whatever the fucking word is, but
Inaccurate.
but it's not the entire story either, because like
No.
one, I think Elosley is running a cartel. A keyword being I
Yes.
think.
Oh.
Because
Oh.
like he has so like my player home is basically our guild hall, even if only like 2 people in the guild play, and both of them are in this podcast. But like, so technically that would be Elosley's home, and it's not only a guild hall; it's kind of gigantic and has very clear signs of something illegal is happening here.
Yeah.
There's a dude in a cage. There's like 2 shrines to Daedra.
Yep.
There's 3 if you count the random shrine to Hirsine that I have out front. I'm pretty sure he kidnapped my merchant and bank assistants.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a lot of some subtle, some not so subtle things about the player home that implies Elosley is running like some sort of organized crime syndicate. And Courts with Alchemy, who is Nate's character, just kind of lets him.
Yeah.
Because Elosley is an interesting case study for Courts.
Yes.
And it's to the point where like both in lore and also just like in game, Nate and I will be questing together or something, and a random killable NPC scrolls by, and I go, "Ooh, you're alone. You're a good target." And because like the best way to make money on ESO without relying on other players is stealing,
Sounds about right.
because you can get so much money for one good stolen item, and it's to the point where like I have basically an assassinate button that prevents me from getting a bounty if no one sees me kill the person. So if I just see a random NPC on the road, I take the opportunity. For me, it's pragmatism. For Elosley, I think he gets off on it. I don't know if you want to go more into the.
Don't know. There's years of just not even lore, but just interactions.
Yeah, it's like these 2 have some sort of platonic relationship, and I don't know what the hell it is.
Neither do I.
And like, there's been jokes about how Elosley only does the quests because either he's tagging along with Courts, who's the one that's actually doing them, or he just wants to get paid.
Yep.
Sounds like the best kind of mercenary.
It's like, okay, I saved the world, now pay me.
Quite literally, like murder hobos.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like what we do a lot of times is if one of us has already done certain quests and is accompanying the other person on the quest, with our mains, the lore is that my character has already, they are doing it at the same time, but my character is already, or is the only one actually paying attention.
Yeah. Because
And
Elosley
Elosley is just
looking for the next thing to kill.
His thing. Yeah.
Elosley is like a very intelligent weapon.
Yes.
You point him in the direction of the thing you want dead, and it will be dead. He's not really one for the details. You could tell him to kill a child and he would do it. Except children don't exist in ESO.
I mean, to be fair, they barely exist in Skyrim too.
Yeah, but they do
I mean,
exist.
There's an orphanage.
There is a ghost in ESO that's a child.
Yeah, but okay, there is a singular child in ESO.
And that character is even voiced by Tara Strong.
Ooh,
That's cool.
nice. Well, I think I have to hop off, guys.
Aw.
Gotta go to bed. I know.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
It was
But-
nice having you on.
Oh yeah. Hopefully it won't be another like 8 months before getting on again. So
Well, with Scarlet and Violet coming out, you should definitely join us once it comes out.
oh yeah. Once I know not trying to be a killjoy, but I don't know. I haven't had an experience with Pokemon where I was genuinely surprised with the new release since I was a kid. So I was like, you know what? I'll try to recapture that moment. If it pays off and if I like it, maybe I'll keep doing it. If not, then yeah, I'll just watch all the information. But I don't know. I want to try something new this time.
That's a fair statement because I wanted to try doing it with this generation, but like,
But you got into the
YouTube?
League community.
oh yeah, I know everything coming.
Yeah, and I was close with Sword and Shield, but of course, I was subscribed to PokeTubers, and of course, they want to capitalize off of it. So literally, when the Gen 7 Final Forms of Starters were released, they put it in the thumbnail and was like, rumors confirmed or like something like that. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, now I know what they look like. Whatever. Might as well watch everything now. So that was fun.
Yeah, to be
Yeah, see, I
fair,
would never.
it's not like bad on their part because that is how a lot of them just make their money is by capitalizing on stuff like
Yeah.
that.
I know, I get it, but if it was like a silhouette, sure. But no, just like straight up like final stages. And I think that was the last thing that I wanted to be spoiler free on were the final because I watched all the Alola forms, I watched everything else. It was literally my cutoff was I want to experience the final forms for myself. So I skipped all that discussion just for that to be ruined with one thumbnail. So
Mm.
but alrighty, I will try to be on relatively soon. Thanks for having me, and yeah, I'll see
Yep.
you guys later.
All right.
See you later.
See ya.
Bye.
Good night.
Night. Oh, hold on. I actually forgot how to leave. Anticlimactic. Okay. Bye.
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 That was fun.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So now that we're not at risk of spoiling anyone, do we want to talk about the giant crab in the room?
Yeah.
From Software, handshake emoji, Game Freak, giant enemy
yeah.
crabs.
It's so true.
I love Cloth so
Oh, wow.
much.
So do I. I feel like it's one of-
Absolutely my kind of idiot.
I'm
it's
still
such a mean Pokemon, but it's so good.
I'm still not a huge fan of any of the Pokemon except for legendaries and Cyclozar,
Mhm.
which I
I
think
like
yeah.
Cerule Edge a lot.
I'm not a fan of those types of designs personally.
I am.
What was the other one's name?
Armor Rouge or Armor
yeah.
Rogue?
Yeah, Armor Rouge. Armor Rouge.
Okay, so they are doing colors then.
Okay.
Yep.
It's just red only, blue only, but Spanish.
It's a
No.
Mega Man character this time.
So when I first saw it, I was like, "Holy shit, that's a Digimon!" And I was like,
Yeah, I
"Kind of
was
like
like
Mega
that
Man."
too. I was like that too.
Then I was like, "Kind of like Mega Man, I guess." Then I was like, "Wait a second! With the mask on Armor Rouge, it's basically a Bionicle."
Oh yeah. Oh, you just triggered a core childhood memory. It is a Bionicle. It's
He's
oh,
Toatahu.
yeah.
Okay, honestly, I looked at them and thought Digimon and then Yu-Gi-Oh.
I thought like I don't know. I just really like them both, but I'm glad I'm sort of maining Violet because I really like Cerulege. The sleek, feminine swordsman kind of thing. That's like, I dig it.
Yeah, I'm not personally a huge fan of any of the 4 Pokemon we saw.
I don't like the engine.
Not really.
I just want to know what it really looks like outside of the car.
You see, I was neutral on the engine until the promotional image came out and the tongue was just sticking out of the top of it. I was like, yes.
It's I like it. And it's supposedly a Seal Poison type, which is a phenomenal typing. Just don't throw sand at it.
Maybe it's got Levitate.
Oh, that would be broken. Oh, that would be broken.
Also, I just want to say the new characters are pretty great.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
At least Brassius and Mela. I'm kind of neutral towards Gita, but
Gita feels like she's a generic character, but you know damn well what she is. They basically were so blunt about who she is in the game.
No,
Also,
but I like Brassius because he really is a man after my own heart.
also, I have a theory, but I want to know what everyone else thinks. What do you think of Team Star?
I had a great discussion with my friend Diana. We think they're rebelling for a reason.
I think we're getting another Team Skull misdirect.
Uh-huh. I think so too.
Yeah,
Because they do not strike
really
as an evil team.
Yeah, no, I like that they're like just the edgy kids in school.
Yeah, because they do not strike as an evil team. They strike even less as an evil team than Team Skull and Team Yell did.
I don't want to remember Team Yell.
I don't mind them.
I hated them.
They're just fanboys.
That's a problem.
I mean, they're just simps.
That's a worse problem for a 12-year-old girl.
But it's accurate.
They're simps for a 12-year-old.
Is Marnie 12?
12-year-old who's the younger sister of like one of the biggest rock stars and Pokemon battle stars in the region.
Yeah. They're not into her, they're into actually no, like literally they are there because Piers told them to be.
True.
So I think they are legitimately just looking after his younger sister.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
They want her to succeed, and they're being encouraging.
Yeah, I'd say they're more hype boys than they are simps.
Okay.
But then
banned
I'm
from
mostly
Twitch.
going by the manga, so
Yeah, like I was just thinking, people think simp is a slur nowadays, and it's like, dude, really? You guys say queer on a regular basis.
People think groomer is a slur.
Yep, and now we just say predator.
Yeah, spelled funny though.
Yeah.
Because it's true.
I mean, you could also just... This is bad, but like, you could also just say Discord mod. That's what I've been seeing lately.
Better still, Discord staff.
Yeah. It's funny because it's true.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. No, but I do want to talk about Brassius, why I like him so much. It's because he sent out a Sudowoodo despite being a grass gym leader. That's because he terrestrialized it into a grass type.
Truly Wudo.
And when he did so, he says, "This is truly Wudo."
Like, oh my god.
Yes.
That was kind of hilarious.
Yeah. I'm glad Sudowoodo's getting the love it needs finally.
Yeah. But yeah, when I saw that dialogue, I was just like, yes. Truly a man after my heart.
I really liked Mila. I was just her introduction and knowing that she is just one of six leaders of a thing.
And them boots. Those are such great.
I've heard of thigh highs, but god damn.
Yeah.
Like that's past thigh high. But I'm very excited to know more about Team Star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also love how dramatic their little hand sign thing is.
Yeah, making the little star.
Yeah.
It just
I just love
oh,
Team
sorry.
Star.
It reminded me that like I don't have a name for my Savarite evil team, and the only thing that I really have on them is that they're the Irish mob.
Team Clover.
Nah.
Either Catholics or Protestants, whatever you.
The IRA.
I was just going to say you can make a pun on that. Because I know you're not afraid of shying away from dark themes.
Yeah. I just don't want to make it too overt that they're the Irish mob.
Yeah.
I mean, Pokemon did pretty well with the Italian Mafia with Team Rocket.
Yeah, but like, I don't know.
I mean, Giovanni is like the only part of it that really feels like the Italian mob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're just generic mobsters.
Or
Yeah.
bumbling idiots.
Yeah.
In the case of characters like Caden, both.
Yeah.
Eh?
I mean, Caden's lore is literally that he got sent to Altaris to get him out of the way.
Shout out again, Giga, for actually scripting Caden flying away in that one cutscene.
Yeah.
I love
every,
that so much.
No, it's every cutscene that he's in that you battle him.
I just love that detail so much.
What if you ever lose to him? Is there going to be anything special for that?
I think it's just a normal, like...
Whiteout.
Yeah.
Okie. Oh, I gotta bring up something about the last trailer. Did you all see that thing where you can let your Pokemon go off on its own and just do its own thing?
Yeah.
I like
love it.
that. Yeah.
So do I. And I can't wait to see all the people crying about losing shinies to it.
Pokemon has needed an auto battle system.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not just auto battle. They're like collecting items and everything.
Yeah. But like, I'm drawing attention to the auto battle part because they have needed that.
Mm-hmm. And we see a glimpse of it when we're raiding the Team Star, like, base? Outpost, I guess? And you see the Oricorio fly in while you're ordering, I think it was Quaxley to do something, or was it Fuecoco?
Also, Ava needs to go outside, so I'm going to go deal with that.
Yep. I don't remember which one it was.
It's going to be very interesting, and it makes me more, like, every time there's a trailer drop, I get a little more excited for this game.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Mm-hmm. Still got to pre-order it on both. I got to figure out when to actually pre-order it from Amazon.
I pre-ordered it on Switch just yesterday, but like, I didn't realize that Nintendo was doing the thing of the payment won't go through until a week before release. So like,
okay,
I can guarantee that I will have the money a week before release, but I could pre-order Scarlet from Amazon. I'm just too lazy.
I just hope it pays off and we get it early.
I mean,
one of us, you know what I mean?
Yeah, even if we don't, like, I kind of wanted both games anyway.
Oh yeah, this is one of those ones where it feels like you need to have both games for some reason. You know, like, I know I'm not talking about certain things why you need it, because that's not revealed yet. But even before I knew about that, I was like, I have to get both games just because of the legendaries.
Yeah. Because this is the first time that I've genuinely loved both legendaries, even though I have a preference for one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I like Xerneas, but I don't love it.
Yveltal was always the superior of the two.
Yeah.
Like, there's always a superior of the two, except this time.
Yeah.
Like, I know I'm a little biased to Miraidon. Obviously, that's the one I made.
Right.
But
As a plush, or not plush, but like art doll, because like
yeah,
it I know it's obvious, but we really should specify that.
yeah, it's an art doll.
Yeah.
I show it off on YouTube videos every chance I get. Like, I will just, oh wait, I don't have it on this one. I only have it on Chromon. So I can add it. Got it. Studio mode. Do this. Add an image. Do this. Do this. I love editing mid-recording. Which is a good picture. Which one were the one I actually rigged it to look like it was floating? That's my favorite picture of it. Oh, it's not. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Oh wait, hold on. It's such a gigantic picture on the screen. I have to shrink it down a lot. Yeah. This is the stuff I do, people. When I talk about when I say I made Miraidon, I literally made a Miraidon doll. Like, I originally did plan on making both of them.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, but I got caught up in doing art craft fair,
Right.
so that kind of took everything. I have to pause and actually make more orange wool tomorrow because I ran out of orange wool for the pumpkins. Okay, I can get this off screen now. I don't know why. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
I'm still confused on why OBS crashed on me there.
Just technology being technology.
Yeah.
Like, I thought it was the Xbox that crashed at first because the screen froze, but then I noticed when I even unplugged the HDMI cord from the computer, the screen didn't go blank. It makes me. I hope I didn't corrupt the file. Didn't get corrupted. We'll find out when we're done here.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm playing Diablo 2 currently. I was originally going to play Grand Theft Auto.
Huh.
It's just like something just to bum around, fly a blimp or something, just kill time. But then I realized I'm at the point in the story where you only have one character unlocked. Because the rest are under hiding. And the character that unlocked is the black character, Franklin.
Yep.
Who often says the N-word sometimes, and I was like, I don't know if that would work on the channel. I don't know if I can get away with that on the channel.
People do record GTA 5 story mode, and it's never been a problem as far as I'm aware.
I know. I was just being a little paranoid.
Yeah, especially after.
I'm okay with.
Especially after.
Yeah. That made me a little paranoid.
The thing to worry about with GTA 5 if you're streaming it is the copyrighted music.
Yeah, because if the radio is on, then it flags the bots.
Yeah. Like, I would have shut the radio off. I was going to start recording before I got into call, and just got to a blimp or any kind of aircraft where I could just start flying and just mute the radio.
I've been meaning to record GTA 5 because I have it, and part of the reason that I wanted to get the new computer is because GTA was breaking the audio on the old one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Because I don't know if you remember, the audio on my old computer would break if you did literally anything. Like, plug in headphones, it breaks. Play a video, it breaks. Play a video game, it breaks. Yeah.
Turn the PC on, it breaks.
No, the PC turning on was usually fine.
Reminds me of how easy it is to crash Paper Mario. Did you know that Paper Mario crashes Paper Mario?
Yeah, I've been meaning to start a new playthrough of something because I like Skyrim, but I don't feel like playing a game that crashes every 5 minutes.
I never knew you were into Grand Theft Auto.
I have it, yeah.
I recently rebought it for the Series X because it's like specially enhanced for it.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I did. It's like I'm not one to always gush about graphics, but my first time experiencing ray tracing, it's like, oh, now I see why people go nuts for this.
I will say I like Grand Theft Auto. I'm not good at it because I am playing with keyboard and mouse.
Same.
Yeah,
Ray tracing. Man, when I built this computer, I wanted to buy a 3080, but then I had to move, so I lost my fucking back order slot.
But yeah, if you plan on playing Grand Theft Auto on the computer, I suggest getting like a cheap wired controller.
I don't like controllers very much.
Oh, well, you use the Joy-Cons.
I have a Switch Lite. I have no choice but to use the Joy-Cons.
Controllers are no different.
Yeah, but I just don't really like controllers, especially because my computer is kind of wire apocalypse right now. I would have to.
From what I've heard about keyboard and mouse with Grand Theft Auto, the only thing that's really troubling is the driving.
Yeah, that's the part that I'm not good at. It took a couple of tries to get past the driving tutorial.
I will admit, Grand Theft Auto driving on a keyboard is not the most fun experience.
No. I kept crashing into things, which it is kind of part of the point of Grand Theft Auto, but you're supposed to do it on purpose.
It's funny because driving on mouse and keyboard is actually something the PC port of The Simpsons Hit and Run, aka more family-friendly Grand Theft Auto, got right. And that's a game from 2004.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you could find mods to help with it.
Probably. I also want to start a Sims 4 playthrough, but the thing is...
Fiddle-dee-dee, those DLC cost way too much.
I pirated it.
Yeah.
I don't have the most recent DLCs because Games for the World is kind of weird. But I do have, quote-unquote, have The Sims 4 and most of its DLC, so...
I got the base game for free, legally, a long time ago.
Yeah, I think
just kind of gradually buy the DLCs as they go on sale.
Yeah, I did too, but I don't have any of the DLCs, so I don't want to give EA money.
That's fair.
I was never a fan of playing them, but I enjoyed watching it for some reason.
Yeah, because the thing with me and Sims is that I very quickly turn off the mechanics that makes Sims entertaining, which is the needs. I just treat it as a sandbox because I like sandboxes.
That's kind of like what I do with Roller Coaster Tycoon games. It's like I never play the actual game. It's just straight up creative mode.
Yeah. So if I start another playthrough, it'll probably be Sims 4 first.
You know what? That'll be fun.
Yeah. I also I don't know what kind of sim to make because I do one of two things. I either make my OCs, or I make Markiplier and Ethan because Unis Honest was cool. And if I do that, then I can't save one of them because I named them after Unis Honest, and Sims 4 doesn't understand that adding an extra N to anus makes it Latin for year.
Me, who has played Bandai Namco Anime Fighters. Yes, I completely understand this problem because that's a thing in like anime fighters too.
Yeah.
I literally can't type the word night to chat.
Ha. It's like
In fact,
Okay,
like,
I see that. Wow. Oh my god.
It took
it's
me a
like
while to realize that.
the one time that a bot kicked me off of an IRC because I typed therapeutic.
and then like
Oh,
the funniest Bandai Namco Anime Fighter incident to me is when they had to rename a generic NPC in Xenoverse 2 because his name was originally Maniga.
Ooh.
It took them over a year to figure out that they messed up. Then one, like my all-time favorite like censorship story is when I got an infraction on the Sega forums fucking typing the word shite. Meanwhile, personal attacks were flying everywhere around me.
Wow.
My favorite is still Kafagurigas. How you had to have a nickname.
Frostless too.
Really? What was Frost? Why Frost last?
Ass.
Oh, never mind.
wow.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But won't somebody please think of the children?
Yeah, the
Ooh.
same children who like okay, when I first played X and Y, I caught a Gumi and I wanted to name it Retard, but the game wouldn't let me, so I put an accent on the E.
Did it work?
Let's not forget
Yes.
back in the Gen 5 days, you couldn't put Cophagragus on Wonder Trade.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we were just talking about.
Yeah. Like, that is a classic Game Freak oversight.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't even call that an oversight. That's just the censor boards being too stupid.
It's an oversight in how the censoring works.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's literally how sarcophagus is spelled.
Yeah. Well, no, because that's a PH.
Oh. Why can't they just change Kafagurigas to a PH then?
Same reason they won't change for alligator's name,
Oh, okay.
because it's iconic.
I never want them to change for alligator's name.
Yeah,
That's
it's iconic.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And like there are like fan games that change it to be spelled correctly, and I'm like, no.
It's not the same, you know?
Yeah. It's like
You've had it this way for 20-something years.
yeah, we don't do that shit. So a Pokemon's name is its name.
Yeah. But yeah, like those fan games will even like advertise it as like we spelled Feraligator's name correctly. Like shut
not
the
a selling
fuck
Why
up.
is that a selling point?
I don't know.
That's a reason not to play.
Yeah, no doubt.
So like back to Savarite for a minute. Like I know what I want the evil team to be, and like I know how they factor in, but I don't know what to call them, and that's kind of important.
You can always do what you did for your dragon and just look up a word in Irish.
I could, but like team names tend to be in English.
Yeah.
True.
And also, like, I feel like Team Star has been used in a prominent fan game somewhere.
Probably.
It's like when Scarlet and Violet were first announced, I was even like, F in the chat for all those fan games that use Scarlet or Violet as their keywords. And now, like, we have a
Yeah.
very common sounding team name, and it's like, wow. I wonder if they did this on purpose.
Probably.
Because Pokemon Scarlet was a fan game back in the day, like back in the Acanthite days.
It was kind of the fan game back in the day, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
it shared a similar spotlight with Acanthite that Uranium and Insurgents did when they were in good progress. I don't know really what shares that spotlight right now, because like neither of them were complete, and right now the fan game that everyone's focused on is Reborn because it just got completed.
I won't play Reborn on the channel.
See, Reborn isn't a bad game, but it's terribly written.
That's why I won't play it.
Like I
I want to play
understand.
schlock. I want it to at least be good schlock.
I understand if you want a dark story, because I took a lot of notes from Reborn's atmosphere for Sardonyx. But when you do something like have a character commit on-screen suicide, and that character is a like reference to an actual person who committed suicide, and then you immediately have the jerk rival make fun of that character, that is not good writing.
They gotta be careful. They might cut themselves on all that edge.
See, like, I like Reborn's Edge, I don't like how it's handled.
And honestly, what you just described sounds just cringy as hell.
It was like, I had hoped that on the completed release that they would make that scene better, but it just comes across as insensitive and making light of a supposed friend. And part of it is also so Reborn and Sardonyx are both based on roleplays. The difference is that Sardonyx's characters all go through a filter that is me and Giga, so that we can actually write consistently. The problem with Reborn is that even if it does go through a single writer, which I doubt, it doesn't feel like it. It feels like all these characters are taken one-to-one from the roleplay, and it results in things like a character talking in lol random speak, a character being a very flamboyant token bisexual, a character committing on-screen suicide and then having another character make fun of him. It doesn't come across as cohesive. Because on the one hand, you have that comic relief that takes the edge off the grimdark, but on the other hand, you have really offensive things that don't come across as being intentionally offensive, but just the result of poor writing.
Yeah.
And
this
is the longest that I've actually spoken out loud about what I think Reborn's problems are. I don't think it's a bad game. It's mechanically, it is very good. Writing wise, it needs work. And I understand that it's now in a complete state. If there's any work done, it's going to be like bug fixing and maintaining code. It's not going to get any writing rehauls. But I really think that they should have taken a look at some of these problem areas before pushing a release.
There's a fine line between edgy for the sake of edgy and just that.
It's okay to have these problems during development because you can fix them. But Reborn is finished. It is pushed as a completed project, and the dev team has been on record saying there are not going to be any updates to this except for game breaking bugs and possibly code maintenance. But when you have a game that is in this completed state, but there are still these glaring problems, that's not okay.
Right.
Yeah.
This is the problem that I have with Empyrean. because Empyrean has a lot of problems. Empyrean could have fixed those problems, but the developer wanted to get the completed game out more than he wanted to fix those problems. And the problems that he did fix are fixed in a way where it just kind of doesn't make sense. Like, Empyrean used to have this mechanic called Pokekata, which was a way for you to skip trainer battles. The code was crippled in the finished build so that you can't actually use it, and the map where you obtain the ability to use it is cut off, but it's not deleted. You can still, like, debug your way into the map because it's a decrypted game. It was never encrypted in the first place. It is the equivalent of leaving your door unlocked, which is fine. It's open source, but my point being there that, like, you can still access that map if you want to, and there is nothing stopping you from getting the ability to use it. I think the only thing stopping you from actually using it is a couple lines of code that say, if trying to use this, exit script processing, which just makes you just not able to use it.
Gotcha.
And my point with Empyrean is that it's also not a bad game, but its problems are in the game design part and a little bit of the writing part, but that's actually forgivable in this case because it doesn't do anything as egregious as Reborn does. It's just awkward. But when it comes to game design problems, Empyrean should not have been pushed as a completed build, because those little problems are by themselves small, but they add up to an experience that, while not unpleasant, is just annoying at the best of times. Like, one of its boss fights is literally just a Rapidash with its base stats multiplied by 9.
That's it? Nothing special about it?
Well, I mean, it has a broken ability, and it's a sprite edit, but, like, stat-wise, it is just a Rapidash with its stats multiplied in the code. It's not its own Pokemon with its own stats. It just has Rapidash's stats. But in the code of that boss fight just multiplies the stats by 9 instead of just making it its own thing.
It feels really lazy.
It's I don't know if I would call it lazy. It's more like there was an easier way to do this. You already have it defined in your PBS as its own Pokemon because it has a dex number. So why not just make the edit in the PBS file?
Yeah.
Good point.
And not to mention, like, Empyrean's biggest problem, I would say, is the fact that my level 50 Noivern was allowed to have 714 speed.
Oh god, how?
Because, one, they have a mechanic that allows shiny Pokemon to have a stat boost. They also have platinum Pokemon, which are just worse metallics, which have a bigger stat boost. Every Pokemon has a special type of held item called a card that if you give the correct Pokemon
I am sorry for the sneezing.
It's fine. If you give the correct Pokemon the correct card, then it gets another stat boost. And then there's something called GP, which by itself is kind of a smart idea. It's basically selective breeding. You breed a Pokemon repeatedly to get its offspring a higher and higher GP value, and the higher the GP value, the bigger the stat boost. The problem is, you can have 3 different stat boosts on one Pokemon, and it breaks game balance.
And that's how you got a Noivern that's super fast.
Yes, I have an Absol that has like 1,000 attack.
Now, are you going up against Pokemon that have this exact same advantage?
No.
Then that's broken.
They usually have
Yep.
one, maybe two of those stat boosts, and I tend to outlevel them anyway. So there's that. I can 3-shot most of the bosses, which is not something that should happen if you're multiplying the base stats by 9.
Yeah.
Mhm.
After we finish recording, I can just open up Empyrean and show you the stats.
Okay.
I've
Sorry
been
if
on-
I'm being like, if I seem out of it, I'm just starting to not to feel good.
It's okay. I just went on a gigantic rant.
That's fine. As someone who makes fan games, you have the right to say this.
And
shit.
I need to stress, like, I don't think either Reborn or Empyrean are bad games. I don't even dislike their creators. Stochastic, who is the developer of Empyrean, is a chill guy who takes criticism in good grace. I've not personally interacted with any of Reborn's developers, but I don't have any reason to dislike them, except for some of the things that they do in game that they don't realize is offensive. But I don't dislike the games, and I don't dislike the people. I just think that both the games, have problems that really should have been fixed before calling themselves complete.
And that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
I need to catch my breath after that. I'd speak fairly forcefully when I am passionate about something, and this is one of those things where I am weirdly passionate about it.
Hey, it's good to be passionate about things.
Yeah.
And like we've had people raid the Sardonic server like 3 times because we dared to criticize their favorite fan game. But like I don't even know what to say to that, and I'm the one who said it. It's like
People are petty.
it's like save your
Yeah.
energy for something more productive, please.
It's like one of those things. Do you really want to die on that hill when it's true?
Yeah, it's like you really have nothing better to do than harass a server because they don't like your favorite fan game.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say it's only been like Empyrean fans who have done this.
They don't sound like nice people.
They're not. So Empyrean is one of the worst cases of chill developer toxic fan base that I have ever seen.
Sounds like it.
Like some people in the Empyrean fan base have gone out of their way to decrypt and debug Sardonyx because we don't like Empyrean, and that's like, one, why would you waste the energy on that? 2, you're just helping us test our encryption.
Yep.
Free encryption test.
Yeah. And we actually have something planned for 3.0 in which they will have a much harder time decrypting because we're not going to be using RMXP's default encryption, which has been cracked for like 5 years, if not more.
Hmm.
Actually, I think it's been cracked for like 10 years. But yeah, that's what you have to deal with as an opinionated game developer.
Yep.
God forbid you have your own opinion.
Yeah, I know, right?
Where has Theory of Mind gone?
What?
Theory of Mind, it's a childhood development concept.
Ah.
It's when children start to learn that other people have their own knowledge, their own opinions, and their own skills that are not yours.
Ah,
And it generally comes in multiple steps, and it's seen as sort of a big like aspect of childhood development.
interesting.
So I think it's safe to say you can blame the teachers for ruining that for kids then. Or is that something that develops naturally?
It begins to develop usually around 4 and gradually develops over time,
But the thing is
So-
that humans, or at least Western society, has pushed an extreme us versus them mentality that isn't
Yeah.
even always directed at anything specific.
Mhm.
Right.
So
You always have an enemy
Yeah.
that you have to deal with.
yes. And sometimes that enemy is just someone who has a different opinion from you.
One would think the enemy should be the one grooming the kids.
Yeah.
You know, the brain wall. I think that might get me in trouble for saying that, actually.
Mhm.
We're at the end of the podcast, so who's ever watching this far in just to find something to say, we got you for saying something. It's like, you're goddamn dedicated. I'm impressed, but your mom's a hoe.
The thing is that we're not calling anyone specific a groomer.
No.
Yeah.
It's just there's a lot of groomers out there, and they're being championed as a good thing now.
Yeah.
And that I find that revolting. The fact that pedophiles are a thing that are trying to be accepted, it just...
Yeah.
Yeah, like on this note, me and Star earlier were talking about like just after the news broke that the Queen died, that maybe Prince Andrew would finally get his comeuppance for diddling little girls with Jeffrey Epstein, and like I don't count on it.
No, because he's the one that probably had Epstein killed.
Yeah, we never talked about the whole Queen thing.
We didn't, which is
Nope.
funny.
Yeah.
I mean, largely
It's
because
almost like one of those things. What more is there to say?
Yeah. I mean, I've seen
Lived a long
people be
life,
like,
lived 70 years.
I've seen people be like, oh no, anyway. And I think that's just
Yeah.
insensitive.
I
Like,
just,
it's okay if you don't like the Queen, but she still left a mourning family behind.
Yeah.
I thought she was a... I don't want to say a wonderful woman, but I always held respect for the Queen.
Yeah.
I was neutral. I don't have a
But it's
reason to
like one of
dislike her.
those things. It was always one of those things. It's like you knew this was eventually going to happen,
Yeah.
and the world
she's
thought
like
it was going to happen a long time ago.
like surviving until 96 is itself
Yeah, feat.
But the thing is, like, they're acting like it's something that should, at best, you should be indifferent to, and at worst, celebrate. And I'm like,
Oh, you have some people on the left champion the fact that she died. It's
yeah,
like
and it's
they're
like,
celebrating
you
it.
guys realize that her family is probably hurting really bad right now.
I mean, yeah, Harry never got to say goodbye.
Yeah. But
I
something.
have my own problems with the
But
like, I have my own issues with the whole like talking about the Queen dying thing, because there's a lot of extremely online people that seem to think everyone here is like enamored with the Queen when very few people actually care.
yeah, and it's like something. All my homies hate Harry. It's like, can you not say that just after his family member died, please?
Yeah. But I do like hearing the stories of the Queen's escapades.
Yeah, those were entertaining.
She was
Like,
a huge animal lover.
Yeah. How about the time when the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia came over to one of her villas?
Yeah.
For anyone that doesn't know, basically, in Saudi Arabia at the time, women were not allowed to drive. And so the you know Elizabeth II, being the type of person she was, uh, decided to mess with the guy a bit. So, decided to take him on a little tour of the grounds of this villa. And they were getting into the car, and, the guy's like, hey, where's your driver? And then she just gets right in the driver's seat. And as far as you can read online, she kind of drove like a maniac. Like, very well, but, like, very intensely.
Yeah, that's one thing. That's one thing I really liked about the Queen, is that the Queen had a really good sense of humor.
Yes.
One of the stories my dad actually told today was that there was this one time where the Queen was visiting, I think it was something like a cake factory or something, and she stopped by to chat with one of the female employees there, directly asked her, what do you make here? And the employee responded, $12 an hour, and they both laughed.
Nice.
Wow. Then there was that one time a couple invited, kind of half jokingly invited her to their wedding. Just in a letter.
Yeah.
And the thing is, she happened to be going to that same area around the time of the wedding.
Nice.
So she just kind of popped in and was like, "Hi."
Nice.
Like, yeah. Because, the couple absolutely was not expecting her to come. They were just kind of like, hey, let's send an invite to the Queen. Yeah, she just kind of showed up for a few minutes.
She seemed down to earth for being a royal.
Yeah.
As much as that is a somber place to leave it off, I think that is a good place to leave it off.
Yeah, probably.
Sounds good.
We are pushing 2 hours.
Yeah.
So yeah, anyone want to add anything else before we fully wrap up?
Don't celebrate the death of a stranger.
Yeah, I
Well,
definitely
yeah.
agree with that.
That is my main message here. Do not celebrate the death of a stranger.
I agree.
Anyone else?
So, I guess it's a great place to leave it off. It's a damn well said thing. So, with all that said, this has been everybody here. I'm very tired. I'm gonna start slurring my words, so I'm just gonna.
I should probably
Good night,
get out
everybody.
of this room before I melt into a puddle.
Good night, everyone.
Night, everyone.
Night.